Good evening, guys. For today, you're gonna have work time before this, or basically the most of the period, to finish up your Greek civilization project, or not Greek civilization, your Greek mythology project. My apologies. So for the quick notes today that we're going to talk about is something that we'd go in depth into because there's so much difference and variety in terms of ancient Greece. They lay the foundation of what a government will truly look like in any time period, all right? But especially during this time period, you have all sorts of types of governments because Greece itself, guys, is not a country, okay? It's a bunch of city states, we call them. City states are individuals, cities that rule by their independence by their own. They're their own little country, okay? So at heart of it is the city. The city is the center, but they also have territory on the outside, like farmland, for example, as I put here, and they use that in order to grow and function and move on as a society. Okay, so city states are independent of each other. They have nothing to do with each other. They're not, one union and all this stuff. They're independent. All right. The thing is, what you will learn about ancient Greece is they hate each other. They fight all the time. They're like you and your little brother or your little sister, always constantly fighting. Okay. Now, for your notes, make sure you write this down. Right. So there are three types of governments that we like to focus on. Right. So we have aristocracy. Okay. So, for example, an aristocracy would be something like up here, you'd rule by, let's say, the wealthy, okay, the best, the individuals that are probably higher class in size. So individuals that I would say are more rich and going to have a better idea of what they're doing. Tyrants or tyrancy, okay, those are individuals like here, okay, they rule by total power and force. They have firm grasp on what society will look like, and also they have the power to manipulate the way they want it to look like, okay. And then the final government that I'd like you guys to know is oligarchy. Okay, oligarchy is basically a few individuals like this one here, and they rule as a small group of people. Okay, and just a few individuals, they rule, they work together, and they rule. Okay, and then one more I would like you guys to put down is monarchy. Okay, monarchy, I don't have it on here, but before I forget, write that one down because a monarchy, in a sense, guys, is also um, a king, a queen, any other form of government we have talked about before. Okay, the one in particular when we talk about monarchy is the city state of Sparta that we will focus on here in a little bit. Okay, now the final government that we will focus on, and the major one, is Athenian democracy or democracy in general. Okay, so in Athens for a long period of time, there had been many years of abuse of power in terms of no constant. You had tyrants, you had aristocrats, you had oligarchs, you had a little bit of everything. Okay, and with that, their world is just thrown into haywire all the time. Okay, so an individual by the Solon comes to come, and he kind of starts to come up with these ideas. Okay, of I want to change my world as I know it, my own government, make it better for the people. Okay, so he works to stop the abuse of power. But under a future leader by the name of Pericles up here, who becomes a famous Athenian general, statesman, smart dude, okay, he in the mid 400 BC makes Athens the world's first direct democracy. Okay, now when I say direct democracy, and we'll talk about representative democracy later, those are two different things, all right? So, a direct democracy is each individual person putting in their own vote on every issue, okay? Unlike today, we vote for people, so our representatives, our senators, president, we vote for those people to make decisions for us. However, in a direct democracy, we vote on each individual issue. Our country is a little too big for that now, okay? But at a city state like Athens, they're a little bit smaller and they can afford to do that, okay? So, here is a quick video that will help you understand a little bit about what the birth of democracy brought to our world and the reason why it came about.
lot of people find democracy so beautiful they can't imagine it's not the natural state of all people.
We see Athens as his birthplace, where people decide, instead of having a ruler tell us what to do, we are going to rule ourselves.
Democracy was this fragile experiment that could have gone away. The Athenians were being attacked by Persia, and they were given the choice.
It was either enjoy life the way they wished it to be or die trying. I think there is such great gallantry in the idea of going to battle, going to war, knowing you are severely outnumbered, but believing you have right on your side.
Imagine having the right to vote on whether to go to war or not. Vote yes, and you've committed yourself to risking your life to fight. Vote no, and you'll be safe, but you'll be ruled by a foreigner. Tough decision. But the point is, it's not being made by a king or a queen. It's being made by ordinary people. Now, the ability to vote, of course, it's not everyone. It's primarily male landholders who can vote. Nonetheless, it's a dramatic shift.
And so the Greeks voted and did something that had never really been done in society before, with the kings and the pharaohs making all the decisions from the top down. This was a bottom-up thing.
When you decide to go to war, you are not fighting for some king. You're fighting for yourself. You're fighting for your family, for your fields.
The Athenians were standing their ground. They had everything at stake. They wanted their way of life. On the other hand, the Persian soldiers were being driven forward. They were conscripts. They didn't believe in what they were doing in every fiber of their being.
What would have happened to democracy if Athens had been overwhelmed and annihilated? That experiment, that brief, transient experiment in empowering people to vote for themselves, might have completely been lost to history.
So I hope from that video, guys, that you understand that Athenian democracy changes the world. Athens creates democracy in order to improve and give everybody an individual right that I can have a say in my own government, my own thought, and my own ideas. In particular here, the thought of going to war with Persia, okay? And the video I'll show after this, I'll give you a video to watch and understand about the Persian Wars and how they changed Greece as we know it, okay? And with that, I will see you guys next time. And that's all you need to write down for today. And have a good one.